A few minutes ago, before joining today's meeting, I was thinking that let's take a stock of the weather throughout the country. Then I thought, oh, Toastmaster meetup is going to be happening, so we'll ask people there because here I can see people from almost every corner of the India. So do let me know what's temperature. I can see that Toastmaster Akib is having water. I think he's going through lots of temperature. How is the weather, everyone?
Weather is good, nice. It just
Okay,
rained
so
yesterday in Bangalore, so we are chilling.
okay,
It's
and
still raining
Nasik?
out here. Nasik still raining.
Yeah, wow,
Lovely
that's
weather
good.
today.
And I'm waiting for the rain for a long time.
Kolkata,
So,
it's going to rain probably, but we are still waiting for it. It's quite hot, of course, as is expected. But if it rains, it's going to be better. I think there are a few clouds, uh, and hopefully it'll rain a little later, and that'll cool down things a bit.
wow. Okay, thank you so much for the response. And now, very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I welcome you at the online meeting of Toastmaster Club of Lucknow. This is 151st meeting. And I'll start with a quote. Safety should never be a priority. Safety should never be a priority. It should be a precondition. And with this, I'll move on to our mission, club mission, to provide a conducive, supportive, and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, general directions for online sessions. Ensure that you are logged in with your correct name. It will help us to identify you easily. All speakers and role takers are requested to add the name of their role next to their name. All the guests are requested to prefix guest before their name. It can be done by clicking the participants tab to rename yourself. Know when your camera is on and avoid doing any activity that may distract the speaker. Please mute your microphone except when it's your turn to speak to avoid background noises from interrupting the meeting. Please unmute your microphone and start your video when the Toastmaster of the day or the table topics master asks you to do so. Let the host and co-host handle all the controls. Now, Sergeant at Arms guidelines refrain from speaking about religion, sex, and politics in a derogatory manner. Avoid interjecting the speaker when he or she is delivering a speech, evaluation, or report. Avoid conversations in chat publicly when someone is speaking, as it may distract the speaker. Please raise your hand to volunteer during table topics session to speak. Look out for the green, yellow, and red colored cards on the screen. They will be displayed by the timer at the appropriate times. At the end of every segment, please cast your ballot when the host displays the polls on the screen. We have the opportunity to invite someone who is the president of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. He proudly tells himself FNT, Friendly Neighborhood Toastmaster, and after spending some time in various companies, places, and clubs, now he is looking for the stable dwelling in his spirit and minds. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a fascinating Toastmaster, Toastmaster Jatin.
Thank you, Sergeant Dance, for that wonderful introduction or initiation into the meeting and introduction as in because every time we choose a different objective, I just feel that it should go right back at you. This time today it was fascinating. Your introductions or the way you present your role every single time really fascinate me. So and I believe it fascinates the entire club as well. So it would be hopefully it would be um, continuing forward as well. Akib said, did I pay SAA? Well, the only payment that I pay is payment in kind. And that's how our club works, right? So you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But when I come to Bangalore, I think it would be veg biryani, Akhil. Alrighty. So we have some guests today in our meeting. Let's talk to them. We have Vicky Singh joining us from where? Vicky, would you like to introduce yourself? Vicky, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Vicky Singh and I'm joining from Lucknow. And this is my first time. I'm very new to this Toastmaster. And
Nice.
and coming to my profession, I'm a software engineer. And yeah, I'm working from remote. I don't know. This is a bit about me.
Cool. And what brings you to Toastmaster? And how did
Uh,
you get to know?
One of my friend who lives in Kolkata recommended me that you can try Toastmaster if you want to work on your communication. So today I Googled it and I found a number and tested on WhatsApp and someone responded. So yeah.
Great. And I believe you would have reached our club mom, Smitaji, for uh, getting to know about today's club. And thank you for reaching out and being part of today's meeting. We hope that you can stay with us throughout the meet, learn through it, participate in interactive topics, and then we'll see or we'll get to hear from you what do you think of. We'll try to get feedback from you towards the end of the meeting.
Yeah,
Next,
thank you.
yeah. Next, I'd like to acknowledge a couple of folks. Obviously, dignitaries need to be acknowledged. So we have someone. We have our okay. In order, we have our immediate past district director and mentor, Ayan Pal, distinguished Toastmaster, who is now a part of our club and is giving again, rather part of club TMCL again, and is going to have uh, give the first ever speech in this term with TMCL today. So glad to have you, Anda, here. We also have our ACGD, Associate Club Group Director from District 124, who is in charge of this geography. He's part of today's meeting too, and he's going to play the speech evaluator role. So hopefully his introduction will be taken up later too. Thank you, Asante, for taking up that role. We have our regular guest Toastmaster come role player, Toastmaster Varun Kumar, who is the one who actually introduced me to CAB, Communities Across Borders. That is now become, that's where I've become friends with so many people like Akib
That was
and
me?
like I'm,
Yeah.
sorry, Varun, you're saying something?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was on unmuted option. No worries.
Okay,
Jatin,
your voice is breaking, so
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah, your voice is me. Could you? I could not, and it's bit low.
it's low.
Is it for me
How?
or is it for everyone?
I don't know. Is this better?
Uh, Quite better, but it's totally very low. Okay,
Okay, I'll try to be louder just in case that works out because I'm
sure.
also supposed to give a speech and I hope that people are able to listen to my speech today. So let me know if it doesn't work. So what I'm was saying that Varun's voice is breaking off. So if there's a bandwidth issue, maybe Arun, you could look at it before uh, your chance to come on stage comes up. Then I would like to welcome guests from CAB. Like I said, Akib is here, regular one. We also have Anu, whom I know from CAB itself. Hi, Anu. Would you like to introduce yourself to the club?
Yeah, thank you, Jatin. I'm Anu. I'm working in IT based out in Chennai. Recently, I came to know about Toastmaster and joined this club. And I'm here to improve my interpersonal skills and meet diverse people and know different perspectives of learning. Thank you. Over to you, Jatin.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you for taking up the role on the spot
My pleasure.
or using the ACGD's favorite phrase, it's the 11th hour. So thank you for doing that, and hopefully we'll wonders. Given that we have covered everybody, it's time to move on with today's meeting. And as for everyone who knows or who doesn't know, the meeting, every Toastmasters meeting is conducted by the MC, the main person of that meeting, who is called the Toastmaster of the day, who chooses a theme for the meeting around which he ties up everything that is spoken about and ties the whole meeting together. Now, today's Toastmaster of the day is somebody who is also coming up, or rather is part of the club second time. He just took a gap of a couple of months and then came back to club again. He is an investment banker who was part of a Hindi club earlier and then chose to switch to TMCL on for working on various aspects of his public speaking skills because he's already done some bit of it in Hindi. But even though he's currently in Delhi, he is from Saharanpur, Shahjahanpur, I believe. I keep forgetting. But uh, we we still calling him the birthday boy because his birthday was on the 1st of June and we missed it. So we are making up for it by calling him, we are wishing him birthday on every single meeting possible. So happy birthday once again because it's still June to Nikhil. And now please put your hands together for Toastmaster of the day, Nikhil Yadav. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you so much for making a birthday even special. But first by forgetting it and then, celebrating it for the whole month. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Jatin and the rest of the members of TMC. Okay, so just I would like to bring it to your notice. I have to share a PPT, but there's some issue in my laptop, so I have requested Toastmaster Manvi to share it. Toastmaster Manvi, can you please share the screen? Toastmaster Manvi?
Is it visible?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, so before we move ahead, I just want to ask you, when you went across the theme of today's meeting, what do you think we are going to speak about? It's pretty evident from the flyer itself, but I still want to know what we are going to speak about today.
Time.
And please, sorry?
Memories, time. How you reached to the milestone of 151.
Okay, anyone else? I'm still waiting for someone who has looked at the flyer and noticed the details.
So you mentioned that TikTok, like there is a word also that is bomb. So I thought, during World War One or World War Two, there were lots of mines and bombs who were left under the soil. So I think the people that sometimes even now explode. So I think it may be related to that.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Suraj. Well, that's another fascinating topic that we can discuss someday, and especially after the discoveries of buried bombs from the time of World War that have been detonating of late. But that's not the topic that we'll be discussing upon. So let's dice, and what I'm going to talk about, what I consider as a ticking, is the plastic waste that we have around. Before we move ahead, just look around you and we all can see so many things made up of plastic. And we all can admit that we are surrounded by plastic, and it has become such a core part of our regular life that it's very hard to live without that. Do you agree with me? Okay, so Toastmaster Man, can you please move to the next slide? Can anyone guess what is this?
It's a landfill.
It's a landfill.
A landfill.
This is
Yes, but okay, this is a
Yes.
landfill. And any guesses as to where is this landfill from?
Haravi in Mumbai?
Delhi. Delhi, East Delhi.
No, the Toastmaster DTM man
Dharavi.
is this is from Mumbai. So this
Yeah.
is Deonar landfill from Mumbai. And just to give context about just to bring it into the perspective, the size of this landfill, this is considered to be the tallest landfill in India. And the height of this landfill is, you can compare it to a 18-story building. This is the only picture that I have put in. If you if you go through the pictures that we have, we all know how many towering buildings we have in Mumbai, but they all look so tiny in front of, most of them look so tiny in front of this landfill itself. Now, if you move to the next slide, so how many, you must have been to Delhi, right? And I just want to know how many of you have noticed this structure in Delhi. So those who live in Delhi are very, they witness this structure every now and then. We all go there to see the Qutub Minars, the India Gate, and all. But this is another landfill based in Ghazipur, Delhi. And now, to bring the size of this landfill in perspective, this landfill is as big as 40 football fields combined together. Can you imagine about this? 40 football fields. And in fact, our survey was conducted in 2020, and it was said that this landfill has become larger than the whole premise of the height and the surrounding area of Taj Mahal. So this is what happening around us. But is this the first time we are talking about like anything around plastic or pollution? I'm pretty sure it's not. When you look back into life, when do you think you heard about pollution for the first time? You could have heard about from your parents, from in school, just someone who would like
School,
right.
yeah, school.
Yes, and as I reckon, most of us have passed school like we have been out of school for so many years now, but there's not much change. In fact, the situation has got worse. We all know the problems that we face. We all know that it's been there for so many years, and we all know that things are not moving the way we would have expected. And well, one of the reasons could be that we are not moving the way we should. But when we talk about pollution and plastic, the problems that plastic is creating, all we think about is the impact that it is having on ourselves. We talk about landfills, and we talk about plastic rich that we can find around our areas in the gutter or in the rivers. But today, the purpose of this session is to bring to your notice that plastic has reached to places that we cannot even imagine, and we cannot even imagine the quantity of that plastic in those places. But before we move ahead, I would like to reiterate the structure of a typical Toastmaster meeting for the guests and for the new members. So a typical Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 sections. First is the prepared speech section, wherein our Toastmasters members who have prepared their speeches, who are who have already prepared their speeches, and on the basis of the pathway that they have selected in their journey of Toastmasters, they will be delivering their speeches, and post that we'll be having an impromptu speech session in which the guests can also participate. That is the table topic session conducted by Toastmaster Smita. Post that, we'll be having an evaluation section wherein our general evaluator Toastmaster Varun will be evaluating the speeches, will be calling his tech team and other speech evaluators to evaluate the speech of the respective members, as well as the whole the conduct of the meeting. So now, before continuing with my presentation, I would like to call up on the stage the first speaker, and to call him, in fact, I would like to request the Toastmaster Jatin. Yes.
Should we call upon the general evaluator to introduce the tag team first?
Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. Okay, so So before we move ahead, I would like to request our general evaluator, Toastmaster Varun, to take the stage and also introduce his chat team. Over to you,
Thanks a lot,
general
Toastmaster.
evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster, Toastmaster Nikhil. My name is Varun, and I will be the general evaluator for you all today. I know the lighting is absolutely bad, but that's the impromptu camera which I had to use. My phone's camera is not working, unfortunately. Anyways, the point is for the speeches to be heard and listened, not to be visible in an online platform. Why? Because the content is the king. I don't want any evaluators today to focus on the body language until and unless asked by the speaker. That being said, I have a tag team with me today who's going to be evaluating the speech or the meeting on an entire part. So please let me welcome the timer, Toastmaster Dave, to please come up on the stage and explain his role of the timers.
Thank you, General Evaluator. As the timer of today, I will be timing the prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and evaluation. For the time allotted for the speakers are 5 to 7 minutes. I will show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. There is 30 seconds of grace period on the upper side. For the table topic, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. I will show the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute, 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. There is 30 seconds grace period on the upper side. For the evaluator, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. I will show the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. There is 30 seconds of buffer on both the sides. I will present my report at the end of the session when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, our wonderful general evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Dave, for crisply explaining the role of timing. Now, why is timing so important? Have you been ever stuck in those places where somebody just kept on talking and you had no clue when to get out of that place? Well, that's why you need to have that importance of timing. You don't want to be in that place with someone else who feels they're stuck. Now, let me call upon the R counter for today. The R counter is Toastmaster Yuvraj. Toastmaster Yuvraj, can you please explain your role?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Varun. A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of our counter is to note any overused words or fillers used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. The words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Filler sounds may be like and er. Remember, eliminating these fillers, words, and sounds can have significant impact on the effectiveness of our speeches. I'll come again with my report once when called by the General Evaluator. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator Varun.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Yuvraj. Next and final member in my tag team is the grammarian. Now, let me call upon Toastmaster Anu, the grammarian for today, our impromptu grammarian.
Yeah, thank you, Varun. How many of us know that there are words which is at least, at almost, in fact, and of course? Raise your hands. Can anyone spell about those words? At least. Varun, I'll pick up the name. Yeah. At least. Okay. So most of us don't know that they are like two separate words like at and space and least. And again a space a lot. So it is mostly like when we go through it of learning, there should be somebody to correct it. Okay. And if there's no one to correct it at the right time, it inculcates as a habit. Like even in my childhood, I was learning like tables multiplication, like one ones are one. But again, when I grew up, I understood that, okay, one ones are R1. Instead of R, I was saying Z. So this is how the habit have come it because I'm not using the right grammar. So I'm here to to take notes of the correct usage of words and quotes and sentences, whichever is a good usage, and also take notes of the inappropriate and bad usage of language. And with this, as a grammarian, I would like to introduce my role for the word of the day. I am sharing my screen. Just a moment. Are you able to just give me a confirmation if you are able to see the word of the day? Yes, no?
Not
So
yet.
for today,
Now it
yes.
can.
Yes. So today the word of the day is regal, which is an adjective and which stands for royal, majestic, or splendid. So a regal sentence that uses the word regal, which means royal, majestic, or splendid. In this, we can use an example. She wore a regal dress that matched her confident and graceful demeanor. And it is also my duty to introduce the idiom of the day, that is, chickens have come home to roost, which refers to the consequences of past actions catching up with someone. So the rather old saying is chicken have come home to roost is normally used to mean that the bad things that someone has done in the past have come back to bite or haunt the individual. And the example here is Fred's in the hospital with liver problems. I guess the chickens have come home to roost after all those years of heavy drinking. So I would recommend everyone to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Thank you, and over to you, Varun.
Thanks a lot, grammarian. That was a very beautiful and a regal way of explaining your role. Also, I have one more role player in my team, which doesn't come under the tag team member, but is someone who will test you. That team member is again Toastmaster Anu, who is going to play the role of listener. So, Toastmaster Anu, can you please be on the stage once again to. Oh, so, my bad. I was told it's Anu. We
Toastmaster
have
Anurag.
Toastmaster Anurag as the listener. So, over to you, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Varun. How many of you have a partner who always says, "You never listen to me"? Or a family member or a parent say that you never listen to me. We all have that parent or a partner in our life, right? In today's meeting, I will be that partner. I will be the partner who will be there with you and improve your listening capabilities. So throughout the meeting, I will be noting few things, and at the end of the meeting, I will be asking you few questions about your listening capabilities. So next time when your partner or parent asks you, "You never listen to me," you can say, "No, I'm a good listener." So back to general evaluator, that will be my role.
Thanks a lot, Anurag, for explaining your role again. And I'm absolutely sorry for that small group up. Things like this, I will be noting down in my general evaluation report, and I will be sharing them at the end of the meeting when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day again to share my reports. That being said, uh, I have a challenge for all the speakers here and the evaluators for this particular meeting today. Try to use word of the day and the idiom of the day as much as you can. And for every speaker who uses the word of the day or the idiom of the day, please show a thumbs up either in the either in the camera or through a virtual hand symbol, just like Manvi has done right now. Thanks a lot, Manvi. That being said, I will hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Nikhil, the Toastmaster of the day, to continue with his theme.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Now, I have another question to all the members present here. How many of you have been to Kedarnath? Any raise of hands? Okay, I cannot see any raise of hands. I'd go one step further. How many of you have been to Mount Everest? None of you, right? But do you know who has reached there before? Even and we still think so many. We still haven't reached. It's plastic. I'll show you. Toastmaster Manvi, can you please move to the next slide? So this is a picture of, as you can see, this was a tweet from ANI Network, and all this plastic waste and garbage piles were found on the way to Kedarnath. So as I was saying, something has reached there even before any one of us could. Now, if you move to the next slide, this is Mount Everest. This is the way to the Mount Everest base camp. Next slide. Another pic from the way to the Mount Everest. And if you move to the next slide, this is the Mount Everest base camp, or one of the base camps when the Mount Everest climbers, where they stay or they camp. So what I'm trying to bring to your notice here is, earlier when we were talking about the impact that plastic is having on our life, the farthest we could think of was the landfills that we have, that the landfills that we can see in Delhi or Mumbai or any other city around us. But this is plastic, and it has reached as mountains like the Kedarnath path, or as far as the mountain Everest. So that is what the purpose for having this presentation is not to give you make you aware about that we are the crisis that we are facing, because we all have been reading about since our childhood, since we've been in school. But my motive is to show you the pictures, the pictures that are our own creation, and just want to broaden your area of viewpoint, that how far things have gone, and we still take them for granted. We are still not considerate about what we should be doing to curb these issues, and we are still living in a cuckoo's world that someday things will change and humanity will just somehow will find a way to prevail. Now, before moving ahead, I would like to call upon the stage our first speech evaluator, and who will be calling and introducing the first speaker for today's meeting. So our first speech evaluator is our first speech evaluator is Toastmaster Asankhya, I guess.
Yes, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Yes. So over to you, Toastmaster Asankhya.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. I'll be, again, good afternoon to everyone. Again, a special good afternoon to my target speaker, Toastmaster Jatin. I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Jatin for his level 1 project 3, that is research and presenting. Timer, please note the timing for the speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and a well-researched speech on any topic. Toastmaster Jatin Kilani, I would like to invite you on this stage. Yeah. Toastmaster Jatin, the big poof. The big poof, Toastmaster Jatin. The stage is all yours. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asankhya. Before I start the speech, I just wanted to check on two things. Am I clearly audible now? Because earlier some people mentioned that I was not. I'm not audible at all.
You are audible, Jatin.
Okay. And then I also have a presentation to share. So let me share my screen and then start with that. Please think if the presentation is visible.
Yes, Toastmaster Jatin, it is visible. So shall I just call you once again?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay, Toastmaster Jatin, the big poof, Toastmaster Jatin, stage is all yours.
The big poof. This read in a menu item in an Indian restaurant in the US that I had visited last year. Any guesses on what that item could be? Anybody?
Chili.
Sorry?
Chili is a dish that is full of chilies.
Not really. So, but that's fancy. Nice and good to know about that. But let me give you a hint. The description read, puffed Indian bread served with spiced potatoes.
Is
All
it
the
pani
UTIs?
puri?
Aloo paratha.
Aloo paratha.
Aloo paratha.
Not really again, but you're close. You're getting there.
Kachori.
It is
Kulcha.
no.
Samosa.
It's actually aloo puri. So you have the dish spiced potatoes and you have the puffed Indian bread that's served together. Let me give you another one. Steamed rice cakes topped with cilantro powder and cheese.
Cheese.
Rice cake is idli.
Dokla.
Well, I only got it. So it's actually the dish was called idli poutine because poutine is a Canadian dish related to French where you put lots of cheese over French fries or something, and so they had this steamed rice cakes where you put cilantro, our desi curry powder, and cheese. Now this rattled your brain, didn't it? For me too. This was the most thought I had given to my dish as long as I can remember, and I was very euphoric on guessing some of these because some of this were very difficult to guess. So, fellow gastronomes, gluttons, and gourmands, how many of us actually bother about what we eat, why we eat, when we eat, and most important, how did that food item reach our plate? For the majority of us, it has always been our culture, family, and society that has been driving our culinary habits instead of making informed decisions. Our parents take care of our nutrition needs since childhood and feed what is right for us. But gone are the days when gajar halwa used to be a winter delicacy, but which you looked up to, but dreaded shredding that or grating that kilos of carrots that your mom used to make you. Or you had to wait for your Malayali friend to go to his hometown to get authentic banana chips. Now everything is available in everywhere in every season. Locality and seasonality are no longer constrained in this globalized world. There's a theory that this impacts the quality of food we eat, the nutrients it has, and it also harms the environment. Now, this research is still in progress, but and is contentious too. But there's a recent report on the environment impact of each food item that reaches your plate, right from farm till it's in front of you. And let me share that report with you. The environment impact, as researched by Joseph Poe and Thomas Nemec and published in the Science Journal in 2018, showcases that for each kilogram of food product that you consume, there are various avenues or various channels in which the greenhouse gases get produced. And so, for each kilogram of, let's example, beef that you eat, there is 99 kg of greenhouse gas that is produced from farm to the plate, right? Which includes your land use, the farm, the animal feed that it consumes, or the processing and transport that requires. As you can see, most of the items in this list, at least in the top 10 to 15, are non-vegetarian. But does that mean vegetarianism is good? Well, not really. For example, you can see the land use change is still impacted in dark chocolate, coffee, and cheese. Well, luckily for me, growing up, like I said, the didn't, parents governed or drove our culinary habits, and these three were not part of my food consumption habits. Still, there are the water consumption that some of these products have, like rice, which further falls down. It's not shown in this graphic, but further falls down in terms of the greenhouse emissions, but is very high in terms of water consumption, along with nuts, which actually have a positive impact in land use, but a huge negative one in water. So, what the idea is to choose that what should we consider, what to have the right amount of nutrients. And for that, the governing factor, as given by the FDA, U.S. Food Department, is these are your nutrient consumption that you should have on daily basis, except omega-3, which is per week, along with which are the products that you could consume it from, right? But there's for which they have also come up with a pyramid. This is the US Department of Agriculture, My Pyramid, which was from 2005 to 2011, which was originally a Swedish idea that came up in 1972. But they came up with this idea to have the right nutrients consumed by these by each person so that they can maintain the healthy lifestyle. For this purpose, many researchers have come up with various kinds of diets that one should have, that one could have rather. For example, Dr. Robert C. Atkins, a physician and cardiologist, in the 1960s created a low carbohydrate Atkins diet that when patients, he found that when patients avoided foods that are high in carbohydrates, such as bread, potatoes, they lose weight easily without hunger or intentionally restricting calories. This came up with various kinds of other diets, like Mediterranean, that you might have heard of, Mediterranean, carb cycling, keto, 5-bite, fruitarian, etc., etc. And in the end, in 2011, USDA refined their requirement to say, okay, you have these things to maintain your daily needs so that you, as a human being, you consume the right nutrients while considering the environment impact of what you're going to eat. Because they replace the protein of using meat and beans with just the protein palette on your this thing called My Plate instead of My Pyramid. The basics: avoid food with all artificial ingredients. Stick to whole natural foods that are environment and health friendly, and preferably local and seasonal. Most importantly, avoid wastage. Yet now and then, when you let your hair down to eat at a party or a restaurant, remember that what you eat is not only makes you, but also your environment and our future. A fancy name or description may not lead to a regal dish, because one day the chickens will come to roost. In the end, the message is chicken soup for the soul. Get the tomato flavor for the gap. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jatin. That was a pretty interesting speech. And now I would like to call upon the stage our second speaker. I would like to call the second speech evaluator once again, that is Toastmaster Jatin himself.
So I'm back again, and good afternoon, evening to one and all. Today I will be evaluating the speech by Ayan Pal, distinguished Toastmaster, whom I've already introduced at the beginning of the meeting, so I'll not, I hope that I would not have to do the honors mentioned again, but at least I will certainly say this, he is the district, or before giving his introduction, let me talk about the purpose of his speech. Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan is attempting the third project of level 2 of his dynamic leadership pathway, which is all about connecting with your audience. The purpose of this project is for the remember to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Now, for this, he needs to choose a topic that is unusual or unexpected, and he needs to help the audience connect with that topic by explaining it properly. Ayan, as we already know, is a distinguished personality, but he's also impromptu speaking champion at district level, a great person with great oratory skills, and also a wonderful human being to interact with, along with being a great dancer. That's something that we'll talk about some other day. But for now, your style, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal. Ayan Pal, your style matters. Your style matters, Ayan Pal.
I would like to confirm if you're able to see my screen clearly. All good? Yeah, just a second. Timer, you can start whenever I start and you will get to know it distinctly. Your style matters. Well, can you tell me about the styles that you see here? No, no, I'm not talking about the clothes they are wearing. What do you think is common to these four individuals? Any ideas? Come on, you can use the chat window. Let's make it interactive, people. Let me get to know you all a little better. So, what are the styles we are talking about? When I say your style matters, what do you think these people are doing? Anyone? In today's time and age, what do you do when you're sitting with laptops? Carefully paying attention. Well, if you haven't yet guessed it, let me just see. They are chatting, they are working, blah, blah. Well, all of it is right. But in today's time and age, they are learning. And I am here to tell you about the learning styles of adults like you and me. So let's get started with a simple question. This is the time for all of you to imagine. And I know it's not going to be very difficult, even for someone in Bangalore, because we have faced this the entire year. It's time to imagine you are running. You are running. It's hot and sweltering day. It's sizzling. It's sultry. You are tired and you are running like this gentleman. You're feeling dry. You're feeling thirsty. And it's terrible. Stop. Because suddenly, right in front of you, it's time to imagine that you find a body of water. I repeat, a body of water. Now, what would you do if I have these options for you? What would you choose to do, ladies and gentlemen? Would you option A, jump right in? Please put that in the chat window. Would you option B, read more first before deciding what to do? Would you option C, prepare yourself fully before deciding to jump in? Or would you option B, reflect from the sidelines? What would you rather do? Can I have some answers in the chat, please? I'm going to stop sharing and see what you're going to do. Okay. So Elias, who always is there when I'm speaking, I'm so glad he's there, has chosen option D. Smita has chosen option B. Anurag has chosen option A. Asankhya has chosen option A, which I'm not at all surprised. Someone is also confusing me with a lot of mutton biryani options, which I don't want to get into. Oh my God, I have to maintain my health, right? So lots of options. Now, what exactly are these options and what are we talking about? Well, these, ladies and gentlemen, are how you're supposed to be learning. They were originally a set of formulas created in the 1980s, and then in 1992, psychologists Henry and Mumford actually said that these are the four primary learning styles. And what exactly do they mean? Well, it's not very difficult. The first one that if you decide to jump right in is called the activist. So all the A's, you are activists. You're the kind of people who would sing Baare Baare Ho, Bolo Yaar Ho, and just jump into it, just like Amir Khan did in Lagan. The second style, those who would like to read a little bit more are probably gonna sing Kitabe bahut si pari hongi tumne. They're the ones who are gonna be reading all about it, like Shah Rukh Khan in Bazigar, and they are some people who need to be prepared. And then option C is the pragmatists who, like Tabu, would probably be causing others to sing Aaye aapka intezar tha, because they take their time and we are waiting for them. But even if it's late, it's worth the wait. And finally, one of my favorites, the reflectors, without which none of us would exist. That's option D, option 4. And they're the kind of people who would sing the song Sajna hai mujhe sajna ke liye, just dilly-dallying by the lake, not doing anything. So these, ladies and gentlemen, are the four kind of styles of learners that we have in the world. And we just found out which kind of learner we are. Isn't that fun? Well, I hope it is, but it's going to be even more fun when you recognize why exactly we are talking about this. Now, there are certain attributes of activists, theorists, pragmatists, and reflectors. For example, activists are people, and you can probably identify with these points, who learn by doing. They need to get their hands dirty and they need to do things like Asankhya, for example. They have an open minded approach to learning, involving themselves fully without any biases and experiences. And to be able to function better, these are their activities: brainstorming, problem solving, group discussions, puzzles, competitions, and role plays.
5 minutes.
Thank you so much. And then we have the theorists. No, not people interested in Kingfisher models, but actually people who like to understand the theory behind actions. They need models, concepts, and facts in order to engage in the learning process. They prefer to analyze and synthesize, drawing new information into the systematic and logical theory. And some of their activities are getting taken care of background information, models, statistics, stories, quotes, and applying the theories. The third are the pragmatists who need to be able to see how to put the learning into practice in the real world. Abstract concepts are not going to be helpful to them. Games are not going to be helpful to them. They're going to have limited use unless they can see a way of putting these ideas into action in their lives. DM are the ones who prefer to experiment, try out new ideas, theories, and techniques to see if they work. Some of the activities for them is they kind of need to think about how this is going to be applicable in reality. They're good with case studies, with problem solving, and with discussions. And finally, the reflectors, they
Six
learn by
minutes.
observing, thank you, and thinking about what happened. They may avoid leaping in and prefer to watch from the sidelines. They prefer to stand back and view experiences from a number of different perspectives, collecting data and taking the time to work towards an appropriate conclusion. So when it comes to self-analysis and taking care of these personalized questionnaires, they're the ones for you. Coaching and interviews, paired discussions, timeouts, observing activities, and collecting feedback from others. So all of that makes you a reflector. So how do you ensure that all these learners thank you? Well, to be able to get a note of thanks for them, you need to understand who are the people around you. For example, Manvi is a reflector. Our grammarian Anu is also a reflector. I'm hoping she's noting down everything that we are doing. And I love the fact that Anurag is a regal activist who just jumps in and says, yes, I'm ready to do. So the next time you see these characteristics in people, try to give them the roles they deserve instead of pigeonholing them. Otherwise, the roosters are coming home to roost and you are going to be dead. So at the end of the day, we are the sum total of who we choose to be. And I hope you can figure out a way to learn your way to success. Wouldn't you agree, dearest Toastmaster of the day?
I definitely do. Thank you so much, Toastmaster DK Maya, for this regal speech. And I've heard so much about you already, but it was I'm really glad to witness it in person. So thank you so much for that speech. Now, uh, I would like to request Tech Master to prepare the polls, and in the meantime, we can continue with our theme. So moving ahead, obviously, as I have already mentioned, my motive is not to bring in a lot of data and to highlight the problem as such, because we all know there is so much data that is already present. We've been digging up into it since our childhood, but it's just to give you a brief about the pictures that I have shown. If we move to the next slide, we can see that the SPCC is actually the Pollution Control Committee of Nepal, who takes care of the pollution, who takes care, whose task is to actually try to control the pollution by taking preventive measures. And after the spring of 2021, the season that is the season 2020, spring season 2021 of the Mountain Everest climbing, they actually had collected over 60,000 kilograms of waste from the expedition group, and out of that, 55,000 was found only near the Everest camp. And the quantity of the waste is continuously growing. As we all know, the number of mountain Everest climbers are growing year by year. The quantity of waste is already growing. In fact, I was the other day The other day I was seeing pictures where there is actually traffic jam of climbers on the way to Mount Everest. That is itself pretty shocking. So I mean, you can obviously see the amount of burnable garbage that is there, which I mean, the climbers obviously left behind them. Then in 2019, waste was 10 metric tons, which grew to 27 metric tons in 2021, and in 2022, the amount of waste that was found was over 34 metric tons. So that is what is happening, and it's not just the areas around us, it's the areas where we can't even think of reaching, the plastic waste is reaching. And now I have a thread of pictures that I would like you all to observe for a couple of seconds, read the caption, and just imagine yourself being in the shoes of the creatures that I'm going to show. Next slide, please, Toastmaster. Next. I just want you to move through the slides and stay on each slide for 3 seconds. So that's a sea turtle entangled in plastic six-pack ring, and obviously it must have happened in its infancy, and now it has grown up with a deformed body. This is another fish that has grown up with a deformed body, and you can see the ring kind of structure around it, in which it had got stuck. The next slide. These are some divers who are trying to release a seal from the marine debris. So marine debris is basically the debris that is left, that is dumped into the sea from ships or cargoes. So next pick is then a flock of seagulls, but more than the seagulls, you can obviously look at the plastic waste that is lying on these beaches. That's another angled turtle. Now this one kind of stuck with me. I mean, it's a diseased Laysan albatross, and it was found like this. I mean, you can just look at the amount of debris in its stomach, and it is assumed to be the albatross is assumed to die because of starvation, actually, because he could not eat anything because of debris filled in its stomach. Now that's a sperm whale, and they are taking out the plastic waste from its stomach, a dead sperm. And there are some divers are trying to release a turtle from the net or the debris that is in which it has got stuck in. This is another picture of a bunch of sea stuck in marine debris. Now this is another very shocking image that is from Indonesia, and it shows so many dead fishes in a lake. It's a volunteer trying to clear a local river in Jakarta in 2014. So if we go into the data, I mean, we human produce approximately 3 million tons of plastic every year, and this is obviously the data from the United Nations, and this flow of debris, obviously, as we can witness, the amount of floods that we can see today, that the landfills that we are already witnessing, which are growing year by year, And so this is all our own doing is what I think. And one thing I wanted to focus on through these pictures is, obviously, as I already said, I'm not trying to give you any knowledge about the pollution or the sorts of, because you already know that. My purpose is that if only one of these pictures is taken on, one picture that out of all these, if it stays in our mind for, say, another year or so, and every time we are throwing that chips packet on the ground, we think about it and we suddenly pick it up. Every time we are going out and we are about to we think that, okay, we'll buy a water bottle outside. This picture comes to your flashes in your mind, and you decide to take up that bottle from your fridge and take it with you. So that is my motive, and I'll continue with this ahead. But I would like to ask to Techmaster if the polls are ready and we can share while the speeches are still fresh in our minds.
Master Nikhil, we can go ahead. We'll do the pollings after the table topic section.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Manvi. So now we are moving ahead, and it is time for the second session of our Toastmaster meeting, and it is obviously the most fun session of any Toastmaster meeting. And to conduct this session, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Smita, our table topic master of the. Over to you, Toastmaster Smita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil, and what a wonderful topic it is. They say there aren't any free lunches, and the colossal damage that we have been doing to our environment in lieu of the regal development that is being done. I think if we don't take action very soon, chickens are going to come home to roost, and we are the ones who will be paying the price heavily. That being said, my dear friends, members of the audience, let me put myself on a gallery mode first to see you all here. Wonderful. So today we are here with a table topic section. I hope you all know what a table topic section is. If not, let me tell you, this is one section where everyone present in the meeting gets to participate. And how wonderful it would be if instead of the black boxes, we get to meet each other face to face. Thank you, Varun, for switching it on with that lovely grin on your face. I got to see your teeth. Even though the light is poor, but your teeth are white and shining. Great job. Thank you. Shubham, Vandana, Dr. Arabinda, Yuvraj, Bala, Pratyush. Thank you so much, Dr. Arabinda, for switching on the laptop. Thank you, Pratyush. Thank you, Bala. Good to see you here after a very long time. And Toastmaster Sankhya, Shubham, Manvi, kindly switch on your cameras. It would be wonderful to interact with you. Now, table topics, my dear friends, as most of you know, and for the benefit of the guests, I did see a guest here initially, is a section where everybody gets to participate and speak, as I've already said. And here, in 2 minutes time, you have to just speak impromptu on a topic given by the table topic master. That's me for the day. Just 2 minutes, only 2 minutes. What all can you speak in 2 minutes? Believe me, there are speakers out here and whom I know for certain I've grown loving hearing them, who can have a whole story like Ramayana in 2 minutes. Which the way you have to fashion is to try and have a small beginning, a small introduction, a body, and an ending to your speech. The timer would be showing you a green card at the end of 1 minute. That is your minimum time required for you to speak on the topic. A yellow card. Thank you so much, Dave, for showing the timer cards along, when I'm telling about it. At 1.5 minutes, it will be a yellow card, time for you to wind up, form your thoughts and collect your thoughts towards a completion. a red card when you need to finish your speech. And yes, of course, I can't expect you to stop speaking at red, right? You have a 30 seconds of grace period to complete your speech. A table topic speech. Imagine meeting the president suddenly in front of you, and you don't want to be tongue tied, do you? So, this is the place where you come and practice your impromptu speaking skills. Now, I have prepared some topics in line with the theme of the day, and let me share my screen and present them to you. Thank you. A thumbs up, please, if you can see the screens properly. Can I have a thumbs up? If you can see the screen? Yes, thank you so much, GTMI. So the table topics for the day, and I will request you to choose a number between 1 and 10. I would love for you to volunteer. Kindly volunteer by raising hands. I already have 2-3 volunteers. Wow. And visiting Toastmaster Bala, you are the first one to go. Please select a number to choose your topic.
I can go. I believe ET and Akib raised their hand before me. Just in case you want to give.
You want to give them the chance before you?
Yeah, because they have raised the hand, so they should naturally get it.
How sweet. How sweet of you. Thank you so much. So ET, nice seeing you again after a very long time. How do you do?
In a while. Great.
Choose a topic.
Seeing you, of course.
Thank you. Choose a number, please.
10.
10. Wonderful. Okay.
What?
What happened? So this is your topic. 1 minute. 1 minute. It says, to reduce plastic pollution, we should probably make less plastic, right? But that's none of my business. So Toastmaster Elios, to reduce plastic pollution, we should probably make less plastic, but that's none of my business. Toastmaster Elios.
Okay, before I start, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Imagine world without plastic. What it is happening? Plastic are called to become the regal of the products that we need in our daily use. And yes, obviously we have come to the conclusion that chickens have come home to roast, that plastic is destroying our planet. And yes, when I see someone is using plastic, and I am also still using plastic, I will say to them, let's use less plastic. Like when you are going to the department store or a supermarket, try to bring your own shopping bag. And yes, in Indonesia now, we have this kind of movement that every single person, if they are needing the plastic from the supermarket, they should buy the shopping bag from the supermarket. Well, indeed, it is cheap, but it is still cost some money. So me, as a cheapo, in Chinese, is like kind of someone who is very carefully thinking about their money consumption. I bring my own. And yes, I say to all of those, I am taking care of the planet. Because imagine if we are not taking care of the planet, Earth itself, who else? We are living in this planet together. Well, I don't want to say that to reduce plastic pollution, we should probably make less plastic, but we just can reduce the plastic consumption. And yes, it is start with you, with me, and we are together making this world a better place to live. Are you ready? To you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elios. That was indeed a great take on the topic. It starts with you and me for sure, and I completely and totally agree with you. Now it's time for the second table topic speaker, Toastmaster Akib. I request you to please choose a topic. Choose a number.
Yeah. As Elios has stolen my number, I'll go with 9 now.
Okay. Do you know how special 9 is? No, everywhere, all the geometric combinations are 9. It's a great number, great topic. They say Indians are born with the reduce, reuse, and recycle gene. Indians are born with the reduce, reuse, recycle gene. Toastmaster Akib.
We are Indians, and we have all watched the movie Triple R, isn't it? Do you follow all the R's? It might be in your gene, it might be in your thoughts, it might be something which your mom does. Let me tell you one of the story of my home. So we are 3 brothers and 3 sisters. The t-shirt which were bought for my eldest brother, he wore it for 1 year. Then it goes to another brother, he wears it for 2 years. It's still working fine. It ends up with me, the last one at home who can wear t-shirt, and I wear it for 3 years. T-shirt is still working fine. I'm bored out of it. I'm like, mother, I can't wear it. You'll have to pass it on to somebody else, or you do something with this. Or I'm throwing it out. She's like, no, 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 don't throw this. This is a commodity. Let it come home. She was trying to sell it to my youngest sister. She was like, Nani, I'm bored of it. I'm bored of seeing this cloth. Don't give it to me. And then this t-shirt ended up in our kitchen. So it became a cloth to just wash it off. When they were good, when it was for 1 year and now it had some torn and worn, it ended up becoming a mop. So now it was used for cleaning the house. So that's how the cycle of starting and ending it took 7 to 8 years at an Indian home. So yes, we have that gene, but I feel that we are moving away. We are moving little away from that gene. So it is in my mother's thought, but now the younger generation will like just consume it, and we are more of consumers. We just want stuff. If you go to wardrobe now, there are a lot of clothes, and I should not take her name, but I'm just telling you because she might hear it. There is a full wardrobe filled with clothes. And yesterday we were going to watch a movie. She's like, I don't have clothes. Like, buddy, we bought it. We bought it some 10 days back. She's like, no, no, you bought it. You bought it for an occasion which is already over. So Eid is over. And the clothes were for Eid. So I think we are moving ahead. We are moving away from that RRR gen, and we need to bring it back because all of these clothes, all of these plastics, they end up in landfill. And the way Toastmaster of the Day has shown the picture, it has a very bad, very worse impact on the whole society as we live. So it starts with you and me. You control your wives. I'll try on my own, and that's how we'll try to retain the gen. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akib. Now I'm wondering what all to tell you. I mean, I could relate with the t-shirt passing. My mother's eldest sister, who is older to her by 8 years, 2 sons settled in the US. You can imagine the age gap between biceps and us. My eldest brother used to wear those sweaters worn by the second brother, used to be packed neatly and kept for us to grow. Then I have worn it, my younger sister has worn it, and then gone back to Mercy, who's opened it up, and since she's good at knitting, knitted a new sweater out of it. So we've all gone through it, but yes, it's no more there in our in our kiddos. And welcome to the world of the married. I mean, there are going to be more cupboards like this, Akif. Brace yourself. So that being said, again, She's heard you? Okay. Lovely. Please ask her to join the meeting. I'm sure she will give you one back also through a topic that she will attempt. Now it's time for Toastmaster Bala, who is there, and then Pratyush Gupta. Toastmaster Pratyush will be next. Yes, Toastmaster Bala, I'm getting a topic for you. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I needed to share my screen first. What did I share? I shared my my laptop screen and not the presentation. Just a second, please. The PowerPoint presentation. Yes, here it is. Sharing screen. Done. From 1 to 8 is what you get to choose. Toastmaster Bala, please choose a number.
7.
7, here it is. Vehicle pool. The easiest way to find a date. The easiest way to find a date is a vehicle pool. Do you agree with it, Toastmaster Bala?
Ladies and gentlemen, if the easiest way to get a date was to pool and among friends in a car, I would have had many dates. But unfortunately, till date, I don't have a date other than the person who is outside the door. I cannot tell that name very loudly. But other than that, I don't have a date. But I do carpooling a lot. My office is approximately 15 kilometers away from my home. There are people with whom I do carpooling, but they are guys, to be honest. And I don't think I have dated any of them either. It's not about having a wonderful or a regal date. It's about why you need to do carpooling. You can actually go in your own car at your own comfort. Here, I have to wait sometimes half an hour, 1 hour for that person to come and then come back home. I don't need to take all the trouble. But if we all start wasting fuel, then suddenly we will realize that chickens have come home to roost because we may fail all the shortage of fuel. I have loved carpooling because it's the time when we sit in the car, we say everything bad that we can say about our bosses in the car. Right from beginning to end of the journey, it's only about abuse the boss. If it was a table topics, I would say it's abuse the boss, and everyone will go full on. And I loved it. I still love it. I do carpooling because I can spend that few minutes with my near friends. I recommend carpooling to everyone. Would you do carpooling? Back to you, Table Talks Master.
Wonderful take on the topic, Toastmaster Bala. I agree. It's a great way to bond with people and to gossip. Wow. Even though I know gossip isn't good, but believe me, it's a regal way of letting out steam. And it's fun. Let me now share my screen for the next topic. I forget that I have to share the screen first. Yes. Toastmaster Pratyush, which number would you like to choose? From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8.
Okay, let me take 8.
Number 8. Oh, so I see we are removing numbers from the lower racks and then coming up. Wonderful. Great.
Last in first out.
Absolutely. The things I recycle at home myself. Toastmaster Pratyush, the things I recycle at home.
I did not used to study in my college days. And as a result, I got out of the college with a third division, and I bought copies at that time. They were blank. Now, after almost 11 years, I found those copies in my office also. Thanks to the new applications that we have today, like WhatsApp and other apps, we do not use this pen and paper again and again. But I remember that I used a copy of class 2 in my class 5. It was a homework copy. I used to practice maths in it. So all of you can guess that how great student I was. And as a result, copies became my best friend whom I could recycle by closing my eyes again and again. I am not promoting that you should not study in this virtual podium, but I am just saying that these things of recycling things like a toothbrush, after using the toothbrush, we just use it for keeping a thread in our pajamas or in our plazos. So these habits of recycling has started from very old days. And now in my this age, after growing up, I find that I am losing these habits. Especially, I miss those copies because they are still in my desk and I am unable to recycle them like I used to recycle in my school days. One copy for 3-4 years continuously. I don't know that how many friends in this virtual podium has done it, but if you have done that, I must say that you were an average student like me. Over to you, table topic master.
Wow, Toastmaster Pratyush. I mean, I'm one for recycling of notebooks, definitely. But yes, amazing recycling over 3 years. Now, this is new. I mean, I remember tearing off pages and then having bundles of rough papers to use that I'm sure many of you will also be doing at home. Varun, your hands raised. You're a general evaluator. Are you also attempting a table topic? Toastmaster Varun, would you like to take a
Yes,
table?
ma'am. Why not?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Is it
Great.
open or no?
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. I'm just wondering why your hand is raised. Here. The next topic, would love for you to choose from the numbers that are on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let's go with 6 and kill the bottommost numbers.
Oh, I believe we all love an order out here. Okay. Plastic bottles, जीवन के साथ भी, जीवन के बाद भी. That is accompanying you in life and after life. Toastmaster Varun, plastic bottles accompanying you in life and afterlife. Toastmaster Varun.
Somehow, I absolutely believe in the concept of accompanying you in life and accompanying you after life. Why? That way you can trouble that person like hell. Even when you are with them in the life, and even with them when you are without the life. I don't know about the plastic bottles, but I know about myself. And that's what I'm gonna do. After life, I am gonna trouble the hell out of my people who I absolutely love. And no, I won't go and haunt them. I'll just bring some plastic from wherever it is, either in the marine trench or on top of Kedarnath, and put it in their house. Every single time they remove it out, magically it would appear right on top of the sofa, which they absolutely wanted to be clean. How many times has it been that you have removed the plastic and yet found something else in its place? Many times, right? Do you think it is a force of nature? Do you think somebody else is going to do it, or somebody else is doing it? Or do you think, what do you think? Let me put it regally. I am someone who believes that there is nothing called afterlife. I am someone who believes that there is nothing called plastics. Everything is man-made. The plastics which we see right now, it is just a small element of the nature. If it was not an element of nature, why would have it existed in the place? You see carbon, you see nitrogen, you see boron, you see oxygen. Everything is an element of nature. It is given to us by the nature itself. Who are we to take it away? Well, I am pretty sure plastics is a very big, long topic, and 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes is not going to suffice. So I will end my topic right here. But I would leave you with a small thought. If you see the plastic once again on the sofa, which I have already tried to take it out, it is me who is going in after life and placing it there. Over to you, Toastmaster Smita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Varun. Well, my dear fellow members in the audience, do remove all the plastics. You do not want a general evaluator coming to haunt you in the afterlife, I'm sure. So wonderful day, Toastmaster Varun. And now I think we have time for just two more topics. Toastmaster DTM Ian has volunteered, and Toastmaster Arbinda had also volunteered. Toastmaster Arbinda, get ready for a topic, or if there's anybody else, DTM Ian, you're next. Let me share my screen. Here.
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay. If I was the nature god, I would, and I'm so loving that this topic is coming to you. If I was the nature god, I would, DTM Ian,
Cry. Because that's what I'm only left to do. Because at the beginning, this was the most powerful. Every man, every woman, every animal would just pray to nature and surrender. And nature would be the greatest beast. But now, like Pan's labyrinth, my dear friend Pan, I'm lost. I'm a god only invoked for ungodly activities. My branches and my roots are being teared apart and polluted in the most horrible way possible by humans in whose nature I once trusted. Gone are the days when these humans would pray to me so that I don't prey upon them. And today they prey upon me and my children left, right, and center, killing them, polluting them, poisoning them through plastic and numerous other kinds of pollution. But they don't know. Nature has a way of coming back. In 1,000 years, that plastic that they have created will decompose and it'll create something more terrible. The heat will slowly increase. The water levels will slowly increase. And one day, these pitiful humans will no longer be available to pollute. And I would once again reign supreme. Because you see, it is in my nature to forgive and forget, provided you forfeit the sins of your children. And the sooner we start praying, you start praying to me, I will stop praying on you by attacking you for trying to kill me and my children. Remember, puny humans, the world was before you and the world will remain. You are no one to protect my world because we are self sufficient and self reliant. You're only going to choke yourself to death. And when you die, finally, I will reclaim because I am nature God. What do you have to say, dearest Mita?
wow, I could see the nature God in all his glory, actually telling people that I'm here to pray on you in case you do not stop. And I had that maleficent laughter as well as what I heard in here, Mayan. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And now it's time for one more topic, and I'd like to request some volunteer, Arabinda or Vandana or Manvi. Manvi is a great speaker. Manvi, what do you say? Would you like to take up a topic? We have our listener Anurag. In case nobody is there, then I'll call upon the role players as well. Shubham is here. Okay. TikTok, TikTok. Dr. Arabinda, would you like to take up the next topic? Dr. Arabinda. Oh, yes, he is. I'll request you to switch on your camera, please. And the next topic is coming on the screen. I'm requesting you to choose a number from the 4 numbers that are left, 1, 3, 4, and 5. Kindly unmute the device. Yes.
3.
3. Okay. Here goes your topic. My most peaceful place on earth. Toastmaster Arabinda Kumar, my most peaceful place on earth. My most peaceful place on earth, Toastmaster Arabinda.
Yes. Good afternoon, friends. Today's topic is home is my ever peaceful, because I am brought up here and I will be go to my heaven with my home. So it's a safest and very much peaceful and very much calm, and I can do anything in my home. Everybody is safe in the home. What is called the home is a temple, and we are always like everybody like to remain in our home, because if you will go to beyond the home, you will see everything, and you will get every challenges. The people and everywhere we are getting the challenges. So home is a very peaceful and calm and quiet place, so that we are able to enjoy in the home. So it should be, your home should be like this, that we should be peaceful. And when are coming from office and any struggling life, after coming here, we can be sometime, maybe it's a 1 hour or anything time, you can be peaceful by sitting in your safest place. So we request everybody to create a like this your home, so that it can be a temple, and every the part of temple is should be a peaceful minded and be cooperating with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arvinda. How beautifully said. The home is the most peaceful place for any person to be, where you can just be yourself. No pretenses, no one to push you around. Just be at home the way you love to be. Thank you so much. And with that, we come to an end of the section that is a table topic section. I loved hearing the opinions and the voices of so many wonderful speakers. Thank you so much. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so
Toastmaster.
much, Toastmaster Sweta. Thank you so much for conducting that such an interesting table topic session. And thank you to all the participants. And now coming back to the theme of the day, well, we have already spoken about the landfills, we have spoken about mountains, we have spoken about sea, but something of which I couldn't find any photographs of was the debris in space. Yes, Toastmasters, you heard it right. We humans have acted as a catalyst to take plastic into space as well. There are reports that debris and plastic waste can be found in outer space, on Moon and on Mars and everywhere that where humans have stepped on. So on a lighter note, I mean, would that really be the way that you would like aliens to find out the way to Earth? So I mean, obviously, this is something that one should not accept from the most intelligent species on Earth. So on a serious note, I mean, is this really the world that we want to hand over to the next generation? I mean, look around. ACs are blasting. You know, rains have got so irregular. Floods, the frequency and intensity of floods has increased. Uh, Temperatures are soaring so high that you can probably cook an omelette on uh, top of the roof of your car. So, is this really the world that we want to hand over to the next generation? The answer is obviously, but what are we doing? What are the solutions? As I've been already saying, that the problem is not new. We've been uh, witnessing these problems for so many years since we've been studying in school, and the solutions are also not. We all know the solutions. I'm not. I am. I do not. I'm not coming up with any magical wand that that we can flash and the problem gets solved. The solutions are very small. The governments are taking initiatives, but they've been taking initiatives for the rest of for all the years that we have seen in past. So I'm not going to talk about those initiatives, but I would really like to ask our fellow Toastmasters to tell me some basic solutions that we on individual level can implement, which obviously will not show any immediate or direct impact, but will surely work in the long run. I hand over the stage to Toastmasters. Anyone who would like to mention some basic solution to curb down plastic pollution? You can just unmute yourself and say it. Yes, Toastmasters, Smita, please.
I think buying low quality plastic and then is also something that we should not take, that one use plastic containers, plastic bottles, as far as possible, not use them, not have them at home, not pass them around. And even for gifting purposes, many times we feel, okay, this is something, it's affordable, but it may not be sustainable for the environment. We still gift around those things. So those things, we can be mindful of what we are using ourselves and also giving away to other people.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmasters. I completely agree. Someone else?
I have something to add. I think we have to practice what we preach. These are bottles which are made of glass. Okay, they are not plastic. Now, if you feel glass is breakable, use steel, use copper. Small little things like this makes a difference. Use our jeans, reuse, recycle that plastic that has already come into your home. Use jute bags. Once we were known for being jute manufacturers. Carry your own bag to the market and get your vegetables in that bag. It's so much more eco-friendly. Unless we ourselves don't use, we cannot teach our children. You cannot teach anyone anything by telling them do this or do that. The only way to teach anyone is by doing it yourself and letting them observe. I do have a no plastic policy to the best of my ability. I say best of my ability because it's not 100% possible. I try to not use plastic. I do use plastic sometimes, but I reuse them over and over again so that there is less impact on earth. For example, all my shoes are from Niemann's. Not all, I would say I've got many different shoes. Most of them are from Niemann's, which is a shoe company which recycles plastic and creates shoes. They are beautiful and I can wear them guilt-free. So what kind of lifestyle choices we are making also makes a huge difference. For example, when you're ordering from Swiggy or Zomato, you can choose to select the option that says no cutlery, because I'm sure you will have cutlery at home. They are very small little steps that will go a long way. And of course, I'm not talking about the big steps like planting trees and this and that, just small little things. When you do that, and if children or other people around you see that you're doing that, they'll get inspired and they'll do that as well. Another small little thing is you also should know what should not be recycled. For example, if you have a bottle, like when we are served drinking water bottles in conferences, you should take the cap, squeeze it, put it inside the bottle so that it cannot be reused, because there are certain things which should not be reused because it's dangerous and harmful. So while we have to reduce, reuse, and recycle, we have to also stop the reduction by ensuring certain things cannot be used again. So whenever you have a bottle that you use, don't crush it and throw it. Take the cap, squeeze it, and put it inside the bottle. so that that bottle cannot be reused. And when people know that these things cannot be reused, they'll slowly start using them after a point. So I think these are some solutions that I have, and hopefully all of us together will come up with many more. Back to you, Nikhil.
Yeah, adding to the point that you made, Toastmaster, that we cannot teach our children unless we practice things. So there's this incident, I mean, that Toastmaster Smith earlier mentioned to me. So we all witnessed how Japan national team football team of Japan cleaned the stadium, the supporters in the stadium post the match, right? And not just the supporters, the team and their staff themselves cleaned the dressing room and the dugout post the match, post every single match. Some called it, publicity stunt or whatever. But you know what? If you read about Japan, the culture of Japan, they have these in these characteristics are so deeply molded into them. They are molded in such a way that these things just we 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 cannot even imagine the culture that they have when it comes to cleanliness or when it comes to regular practices in their life. So that is something I personally believe we can take from them, and we can inculcate in our lives, be it regarding plastic recycle and use or anything. We can just inculcate that characteristics in ourselves, and we can hand over that same characteristic to the next generation, because you cannot, as you already said, you cannot teach them this. Things like these come with regular practice. So that is something I wanted to throw light on. Someone else would like to mention any
Yep.
solution, a basic solution that
Yep.
we can.
So, yeah, Nikhil, I wanted to go.
Yes, yes.
So
Uh,
I would like to echo what DTM Mayan said, and he gave a lot of ideas on how one should reduce the plastic usages and how one should, curb, like people, if you put that cap in itself squeezed from, nobody can reuse it. So these are good suggestion. And what I would emphasize upon was uh, raising that awareness and bringing that guilt. Most of us, we don't have that guilt. And Data Man said, I can have guilt-free life when I wear the shoes from Niman. So you see that thing which is very inherent to him. He thinks that usage of plastic is not good, and if I use it, I have a little bit of guilt. So as a society, if you are able to bring that thought within everybody's mind, you have raised the awareness to that level that people are really aware that this is not good and there is something which we need to avoid. This is impacting our societies. This is impacting all your animals. I've seen cows eating plastic, a lot of plastics, and they'll have swelling in their stomach. And I've seen uh, a lot of cows going to eat from the waste because they could see there is something in the plastic. They go inside the plastic and they end up eating glass, and there's a lot of bleeding happening. So all of this are telling that this is not good. But how do you raise the awareness and you bring that uh, society's thought that this is not right? I think that's way more important. And if you know that this is good, this is bad, and then you'll have a lot of ways to curb it out. So you will have ways. You will have 100 new ways of reducing the plastic, reducing the usages of it, and it's not wrong. Like demonizing plastic is also wrong because that has kind of changed the whole global economy. Like it gave you a very low cost, versatile equipment which you can use to buy stuff and immediately bring it home, and you don't have to carry a big jute packet. So it has really transformed, radicalized the whole business, the whole convenience that we get. But now it's carelessness to not opt for biodegradable plastic. It's carelessness to not opt for plastic which is suitable and which degrades itself over a period of time, and something which can be used for a longer period of time. So that is our carelessness, and it comes because we are not aware. So I think that's what I would emphasize upon. Over to you, Nikhil.
Completely agree. I would take one last answer. I can see Toastmaster Bala's hand.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. So I just want one thing, and I will give an example of a person who is very near and dear to me, my mother. If you go to our storeroom, there is a bag which has plastics kept inside. And you may wonder why all these plastics are kept, because she will never throw them out, or she just reuse it. And the best part is, if you look under the bed of or mattress of my mother, there are that big plastics which she gets from, say, what used to be Big Bazaar or the Reliance Smart, everything, those high quality things, or the, if I can call it, regal plastics, that will be there. And she loves to go and buy fish on her own. Every time she'll carry a plastic bag or a plastic cover with her. And I used to get a bit irritated. I used to take her, but I used to get irritated because plastic used to come free over there. They would just give that plastic. But she was like, no, I want to take my own plastic. But just pondering on it, I feel, why can't we all do that? If we are going to buy something which needs a plastic, you take it on your own. You definitely have so much plastic with you. Why can't you take it? Why do you want to again bring back one more plastic cover back to your home? It has happened many times that she has kind of scolded me for buying a plastic cover. That has happened, but that's okay. And the words she used, I cannot use it. The grammarian will get angry at me, so I will not use those words. But definitely, we all need to do that. Why, if it's even, forget plastic, even if that cloth bag, why don't we take our own cloth bag? If it is plastic, definitely you can take something which is reused, which is clean. Take it with you to buy anything which can be like a meat, fish, or even vegetables. Take it with you. You can do that. If you do that, it helps. And trust me, it really helps. In my home, we hardly kind of throw out any plastics. The plastics which come in, except for that milk packet, we cannot do much with it. That we definitely throw out. Other than that, all the plastic is washed, preserved, and kept for reusage. If we can do that, it would definitely lead to helping everyone to reduce the plastic usage. That's what I feel, and with that, I hand it over back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bala. So there were still a couple of hands, but in the interest of time, we'll have to move ahead. So the purpose of asking you the solutions, I've actually not put any solutions in the presentation, so that's why I didn't share it, because I genuinely wanted you, the members, to come up with the solutions, and I wanted to prove that we all know the solutions. Just like I have mentioned multiple times, we know the problems for so many years. At the same time, we have been knowing solutions as well for the same number of years. But how much of us, it depends on us only, that how we implement those solutions, and whatever little bit we can do about these problems, we must do about it. So now I would like to move ahead, and I just want to check with the tech master. We can launch the polls now, or I should go ahead with the general evaluator. Okay, so
I have launched the polls for the best speaker. I'll request everyone to please vote. I have received only 13 responses. I'll request everyone to please vote, whosoever hasn't voted yet.
Please vote, whoever is left. I understand the choices are pretty difficult. Two great speeches from two great speakers. How many votes are left, Toastmaster Man?
got the majority, I am launching the post for the best table topic speaker.
Sorry, we couldn't hear you.
I said we got the majority for the best speakers. Now I have launched the post for the best table topic speakers, requesting everyone to please vote.
Another great session with some great impromptu speeches from the participants, requesting all them as to please vote.
Toastmaster Manvi, we are missing out Toastmaster Akib's name in the list.
Yes, I actually got the confirmation from the timer that Toastmaster Arcade is over time, so I have removed that.
Okay.
So request everyone to please vote. We'll be closing the polls in next 10 seconds. Thank you so much. Toastmaster of the day, we can go ahead.
Okay, so now we move ahead with the with the most important section, that is the evaluation segment, and I would request general evaluator to please take up the stage and take the meeting ahead.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Nikhil. For the general evaluation session, I would like to first call Toastmaster Asankhya, who's going to evaluate the speaker one, that's Toastmaster Jatin. Toastmaster Asankhya? I see you are still on mute. Asankhya, are you here? Go ahead, Asankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Varun, for the opportunity. Toastmaster Jatin, the big poof. Toastmaster Jatin, first of all, congratulations on completing your level 1 project 3, the big poof. The best part about your speech, the highlight for me, the way you started and made us all curious about what the actual topic was about. Maybe first leading us to believe the speech is about something related to food, or maybe your affection towards food at the same time, then coming to the real deal as to how you broke the actual speech later on to us. From the get-go, you made sure that you involve the target audience. All the members who are present were more than enthusiastic to turn on their mics and give their answers with regards to the couple of questions that you asked initially, with regards to what exactly the big proof is, and a subsequent follow-up question regarding the same. You had a lot of data points, even subsets. The best part about you, with regards to those data points that in the first chart that they showed up, you had even subsets to those charts with regards to how your dietary habits have influenced maybe the impact to the environment. That was the best part that I really liked with regards to the first chart when you displayed how maybe dark chocolate, cheese, and coffee is something that is not your go-to food items that you have inculcated in your dietary habits. Maybe for me, it's the opposite actually. These are my the food that I actually go to whenever I want to. Yes, maybe when I am having maybe not a good mood and just want to cheer myself up. Moving forward, just allow me a second. Yes. Moving forward, you even have a lot of plethora of data back pointers with regards to even sources, credible sources from FDA to various other sources that you quoted. You gave that insight as to how it's important keeping grains, veggies, fruits, diet, dairy, protein that is important. At the same time, what exactly is important in those products, be it in dairy, be it in protein, or how to make sure that we have 50% of the whole grain in those grains as such that we are eating. So kudos to you on that for giving that sort of a minute insight with regards to how do we break that balanced diet of us. You talked about the chart of yours. One of the charts showed the nutrient requirements towards the end. One feedback that I would share with you would be carrying that forward with regards to how you initially shared in the first part, wherein the environment impact is something wherein you shared your pointers as well. How your dietary habits have like hampered or less hampered the impact of in the environment as such. Apart from that, you could even have shared certain aspects about your dietary preferences or your impact to even the greenhouse gases or the other charts that you showed up later on with regards to the nutrient requirements specifically. That would help us connect the audience better, because someone like me, maybe I might be vitamin D or uh, calcium deficient. Someone like you may be having your own deficiencies or own pointers wherein you might be having your nutrient deficiencies, or I know I am for a fact that I am rich with omega-3 fatty acids. Maybe you can talk about those aspects as well as to how that is something that would again go a long way in making that relatable to the audience. All in all, a great speech, a great start. Starting with right from the get-go, you made sure that you kept the audience hooked right from the time you asked those questions, coupled it with those pointers, data about pointers, and the visualization charts that you have handy with you, and giving your personal insights to those charts went a long way in making that connect with the audience, even in a research-based speech as such. That's all from my side. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Asancha. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Jatin to evaluate the second speaker, Toastmaster Ayan. Over to you, Jatin.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So, बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार हम सुन पाए, to these wonderful speeches presented in his own flamboyant style by our very distinguished Toastmaster Ann Pal, who's my target speaker as well. So he took up this topic of your styles matter and presented it in his own style, like I said, where he showed all the 4 learning styles through his speech itself, being the activist by choosing to explore that unfamiliar topic and condensing in a 5 to 7 minute speech for presenting it to the audience, by being the reflector in gathering the opinions from the audience and asking and making them engage in what you were trying to say. The question even have a visual aid to you, visual aid through the slide presentation that you showed at the beginning. Being a pragmatist by exploring or testing out the usage of songs to present this unfamiliar topic so that you can build connect with the audience, and also using examples from audience itself as to say give an example of who is what, or who could be what kind of style carrier. That being said, in terms of this overall speech, combined with your style and the 4 styles that demonstrated, was wonderfully presented with the power and beauty of your voice modulation. What I felt was this truly was a workshop material, and like you tried to condense in 5 to 7 minute speech, wherein it went well towards the very beginning, making it interactive, and people were already gone. But towards the end, where you acted as a theorist by putting in all the content in the slide presentation, that went away too fast. And I think that the suggestion that I had for condensing it, putting it together, would be one, maybe reducing the time given to the audience in order to respond to the chat. That would be one. Second would be is the examples that you shared, the song, as well as the example from the audience by taking names of the audience of who could be that man. That could be presented at the beginning, at the end of that particular style when you're talking about it. So you could start with the song, talk about the style, then give an example from the audience to build that connect. Giving it further, since we're talking about building the connect with the audience through an unfamiliar topic, using your own suggestion, not all audience members are know everyone. So using Asankhya or Anurag as an example, instead use pop culture references, something that I learned from you. So using pop culture references may be more apt, so wherein everybody would be able to connect. Also, Bollywood songs, good. I was really amazed by that. I am a fan of Bollywood songs as well, and the songs were right from my genre. But like somebody like Anu, Usman Chena, I'm not sure how much Bollywood she follows, or somebody who's from the next gen may not be aware of those songs. So that's something that could be looked at. In essence, great way to present your explore an unfamiliar topic with all those 4 styles. Your voice modulation was bang on. If you could just build that connect through giving proper references and reduce the time to actually condense this workshop material in a speech, that would work with this particular project. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Jatin, for that. Thanks a lot, Jatin, for that wonderful feedback. Now I would like to call upon the next tag team member, which is the timer for today, Toastmaster Dave. Timer, can you please present your report?
Is my screen visible? Can anyone come? Thank you,
Yes,
Toastmaster
yes,
Jatin.
yes.
Yes, yes.
So there is only one disqualification, and that is in the table topics. That is Toastmaster Akab. Rest all are qualified, and I will say the report in the chat box also, so you can take notes. That's all from my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Dave. Now, can we have the R counter, Toastmaster? Why am I missing my R counter? I don't see it anymore.
Yuvraj is that one.
Pardon, Jatin?
Yeah, Varun.
Yuvraj.
Oh, yes, I see. I was looking for the name tag. Thanks a lot, Jatin. Toastmaster Yuvraj, can you please present your R counter report?
Yeah, so due to some technical issues, I won't be able to share my screen, but I'll just state the facts over here. So thank you, General Evaluator. Now I'm going to state the our counter report with all the speakers, that all the speakers have done greatly. So starting with Toastmaster Ayan, he hasn't used any fillers or any other inappropriate or obstructed words. So the total is 0. Toastmaster Jatin has just done 1 repetition. So yeah, it's 1. Toastmaster Nikhil has used fillers 4 times and 1 repetition and 1 short pause. Toastmaster Smita has no repetition or any obstructed word. Toastmaster Asankhya has a total of 3 with 3 fillers. Toastmasters Varun have 1 filler and 1 short pause. Toastmaster Pratyush has no such obstructions. Toastmaster Anu has 3 fillers and 1 short pause. Toastmaster Yash has 1 short pause. Toastmaster Bala has 1 repetition. Elios have 5 fillers. Toastmasters Akib have used 5 fillers and 1 short pause. And Dr. Arabinda has used 2 short pauses. That's all is in the counter report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Yuvraj. Can we have grammarian Toastmaster Anu please on the stage, please, to present her report?
Thank you, Varun. A big round of applause for the speakers who have used the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Can I have a round of applause from everyone? Yes. So the word of the day was used by Varun, Jatin, Smita 2 times, Elias, Bala 2 times, and Varun. An idiom of the day was used by Jatin, Ayan, Smita, Elias, and Bala. Thank you for that. And there was a beautiful quote by Dr. Robert Atkins by Jatin. It was a good way of connecting with the audience. And in between of the speakers, I got to list down good usage of words. Jatin have used couple of books, companies across borders. Suraj have used conducive, supportive minds and bones. Akub, sorry if I'm spelling the words wrong, but stable dwelling in his mind, impressive, which was written in the chart, is a good way of expressing it. Versatile, radicalize, and degrade. Ayan have used your style matters, distinctively learning style of adults, Svetla, sizzling body of water, set of formulas, activist, pragmatist, attribute of activities, learn which states learn by doing, tributes of theorist, systematic and logical theory, abstract concepts, attributes of reflectors, paired discussions, brainstorming, pigeon holding, nature will be the greatest, unguarded, poisoning, decompose, pitiful humans, forgive and forget. A very good usage of words like forgive and forget. Remember, puny humans, and practice what we preach. Elios have used consumption, making this world better place to live. Pratyus have used virtual podium, Varun accompanying element of nature, carbon, oxygen. You have used all the scientific terms here, suffice and Bala pondering. And coming to Nikhil, he have used a very good words of detonating awfully, landfill, perspective, towering buildings, gutter, reiterate, catalyst, molded. Broaden your area of viewpoint. Suraj, conducive and supportive. Jatin, couple of books, companies across border. The Big Poof, Glutens, greenhouse gases, culinary habits, nutrition needs, grating, authentic banana chips, globalized world, consumption habits, greenhouse emissions, keto, Mediterranean, meat and beans, a very good combination of words, protein palettes, local and seasonal, again a combination of words, legal dish, or it entangled, deformed, diseased. Smita, have used colossal, lovely grin on your face, which is a very good way of lighting up the speaker. Geometric combinations, magnificent laughter. So this way the good usage of words for the day. And there were few words which can be rephrased or which can be used appropriately. Towering buildings can be used in a way like high-rise or sky-high constructional structures. Then there was an observation of my motive is not to bring lot of data. Maybe it can be rephrased as my intention is not to provide a lot of data. Quantity of the waste is continuously growing. It can be the quantity of waste is continuously growing. Human produce 3 million of plastic. There's no word as human. It can be humans produce 3 million tons of plastic. Cost some money. It can be appropriately used in a way called cost some money. Adding of S to the cost. I am bored of seeing this cloth. It can be like I am bored with seeing this clothing. There are people with whom I do carpooling. It can be in a way like there are people with whom I carpool. I found those copies in my office also. It can be said that I found those copies in my office as well. I'm going to travel the hell out of. It is incorrect, informal way to speak. But again, if we can iterate it like it planning to travel extensively or intensely, I'm going to travel extensively, that would be inappropriate. Rains have got so irregular. It can be rains have become so irregular. Throughout, it can be a very good usage. You can use as discard or dispose. And again, someone was using abbreviations like ACGB, Associate Club Group Director, RACGD, TMCL, ANI, FDA. So I would recommend to abbreviate it because people like me who are new to the Toastmaster would not be understanding what this abbreviation stands for. So that's it from my report. Thank you. And I would recommend, as a grammarian, I just missed the expressions and the body language and what else I can quote. Yeah, the voice. So that's it. And over to you, Varun. Thanks for everyone.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anu, for being such a regal grammarian for today. And I'm pretty sure no chicken will come home to roast tonight. That being said, let me call upon the listener for today, Toastmaster Anurag, to initiate his session of the listener. Toastmaster Anurag, are you ready?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Am I audible clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Starting off, I will go through some questions and anyone can answer. So starting off with introduction of Toastmaster Nikhil, What is his profession? Anyone? Into investment banking. Moving on to the next thing, he talked about two landfills. Can anyone tell the areas?
One is Dharavi,
What?
the other one was in Delhi.
Okay, Gazipur. Yeah, and Gazipur is equal to how many football fields? 40. It's equal to 40 football fields. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Toastmaster Jatin was delivering speech of which level and which project?
Level 1, Project 3.
Correct. And who drives our food choices according to Toastmaster Jatin? Three things.
Heart,
Parents,
stomach, and mind.
What drives our culture, family, and society? He talked about. The pyramid of diet was idea originally thought by which country?
US.
It was introduced by US, but it was originally thought by Swedish persons.
Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden. What was the objective of DTM of speech of DTM Mayanpal? Connect with unfamiliar audience. And 4 learning styles he talked about.
activist,
Correct.
Reflective,
pragmatic,
Pragmatist. Yeah.
and
Yeah. One is remaining.
reflective,
Theo- reflective,
reflective,
pragmatic, and activist is done. One is remaining. That is theorist.
theorist. Yes.
Toastmaster Nikhil showed some pictures, and in one picture, Albatross died. What was the reason behind it?
Taking in a
It ate a lot of debris.
the debris.
Lot of debris.
Correct. How many tons of plastic we generate every year as human beings?
304.
20,
Sorry,
20.
30,
300
around
million
30 or
is
30. 304.
300 million is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming on to the table topics, what was the third topic which was given to Toastmaster Bala?
Vehicle pool.
Carpool. Yeah, vehicle pool. Wala.
Easiest way to find a
Toastmasters method.
Correct.
Yeah,
Vehicle
just
pool,
use it. Yeah.
easiest way to find the date. That's it from my side. Back to general evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anurag, for conducting such a. I'm so sorry. Thanks a lot, Anurag, for conducting such a beautiful listener role or a session. Coming to my evaluations, we started the meeting a little bit late. Oh, I'm sorry, my video is still on. We started the meeting a little bit late. The roles were filled impromptu, which can be avoided. The grammarian stepped in. I stepped in as a timer, as a general evaluator. And I still have one more role to go, which I will be doing after I finish up my evaluation session. That being said, we had a very beautiful session with two fantastic speeches and an amazing table topics session. One thing which I want to have from my tag team members, from timer, accountant, and grammarian, all three of them, is tips or tricks to avoid bad usages, to avoid overtimings, and to avoid filler words. Why? Because when you come on the stage and you present your report, you are just letting others know the data. What are they going to do with that? How are they going to improve is the question that I am also still looking for. For example, Toastmaster Akib could have timed himself better by not speaking for more than 2 minutes 30 seconds. And how could he have done that? He can every single day practice by placing a mind clock just to do anything only for 2 minutes, or keep multiple alarms for 2 minutes every single day. This way, he gets a conscious idea of what 2 minutes look like. And whenever he comes and speaks on the stage, he will speak only for 2 minutes. The same is the case with our counter, giving a small tip such as taking a short pause or speaking for just a second, or taking a pause for just a second, can give a speaker an idea of what they are going to speak next. And for grammarian, start reading newspapers, Hindu paper, Economic Times, or anything like that, which will increase the vocabulary as well as the past, present, and the future ideas. So that thing was missing, and I would love to hear about those perspectives from the next meeting onwards. That being said, I have my other role, which is a table topics evaluation. So we had our first speaker, Toastmaster Ilios, who is currently not in the meeting, so I will skip his evaluation. We have Toastmaster Akim. Indians are born with reduce, reuse, and recycle genes. It's a good connect, Akim, that you started your speech by saying RRR, and you also had a nice story. But why did you have to bring your wife in when your story was going good with your t-shirt, which was being turned into a mop? You brought in your wife's story at around 2 minutes after you saw a yellow flag, which is something which you could have avoided because at that moment it is time for you to start inclusion. And also, I was unable to hear about your thesis. Why did you go with that particular topic? What do you want to talk about? That thesis was missing. Next, we had Bala, vehicle pool, easiest way to find a date. You had a lot of good things, carpooling. You talked about how you can gossip about your boss. But one thing you could have talked is how you would define a date, because you told us that all of you are boys and there is nothing called a date when you are all going together. But how would you have defined something called date? It is quite perspective. And then if you would have just negated the topic that, oh, I don't need to go out on a date, I can just sit in a car and do carpooling. All I have is all good friends with me. So it helps you with your point of saying, I don't need a date to talk about something. I have all my good friends with me. Then we had Toastmaster Pratyush. I don't think so. He is also here, so I'll skip him. We had myself, plastic bottles accompanying you in life and afterlife. I could have told that if you take plastic and spread it somewhere rather than leaving it or throwing it away, I will take it back and keep it on the sofa. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Smita, for giving me a new perspective. Ayan, DTM Ayan, if I was nature god, what I would do? You had a very beautiful speech. I don't want to improve anything right there. No feedbacks or no suggestions. We had Aravinda, my home, my most peaceful place on earth. You talked about home, but you could have hyped it up a little bit. Now, how would you have hyped it up? By saying, oh, you have something which everyone has, including me. Talk about it by not talking about it, just going around it in circles. And then finally, when you see the green card, you can land on it. That being said, that's all from my end. And kudos to you, Toastmaster Smita, for having such beautiful and wonderful and thought-provoking table topics with respect to plastics. Over to you, the time Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster. Where did you go? Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Master Varun. Requesting all the members to please vote for the best evaluation.
In the meantime, Toastmaster of the day, you can continue.
Okay, so I would just like to draw the curtains on my time with a quote from a famous anthropologist, Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens cannot change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And with that, I would like to I would like to thank you all of for being such an attentive audience and providing me this opportunity. Uh, and I would like to hand over the stage back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Jatin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nikhil. I request everyone to give a 100th round of applause. Even though in silence, you could just give your hand to say, well done, Nikhil. For such a nice, insightful, and introspective topic that has left each and every one of us with not only the problems that we're facing, it's right there. The chickens have already come to roost, but he's also explored or implored us, made us implore to think about solutions that we could do in our day-to-day life, through which we would help reduce reduce this problem of having plastic waste itself. Fortunately, okay, there are other polls being shared by the Tech Master. Please vote for your favorite equal high role player for today between Timer Dave, our counter Yuvraj, Gamiri Anu, and Rag. While the polls continue, let's hear from some of our guests as to what did they guest Toastmasters of what they think of today's meeting. Let's start with Anu itself. Anu, this was your first time at TMCL. How was your experience?
Thank you, Jatin. I'm glad to be part of this session. It was a great learning for me, different perspectives, and well organized, on time, detailed level of evaluation. Nice. It was quite different from the earlier sessions which I've attended. Thanks for that. Yeah, it was good.
Nice. Okay, glad that you said good, because I was about to ask you when you said it was different, it was good different or bad different. But glad that you clarified it.
It was different. I mean, in terms of evaluation is quite good. Detail level of evaluation, yes.
Thank you so much for that. Meanwhile, our Lionheart role player poll has been released as well. So please request everyone to please vote for their favorite Lionheart role player amongst the Toastmasters of the day, Table Topics Masters, General Evaluation. Okay, there seems to be a problem here. Sorry, we'll have to end poll because the names are wrong. Okay, Tech Master might be editing it. Meanwhile, let's talk to someone else. Whom do we have here? Akib, it's been a while since you've come again. What did you think of today's session? And what are your takeaways?
To start with, I see the Toastmaster of the Day session, the speakers, everybody has a presentation. It was very much visual and like we were able to convey the message way better. So kudos to Toastmaster of the Day and two speakers today. I had a lot of learning, especially uh, on how one should, back up and use presentation to reinforce their speech, and you guys did well. Uh, Toastmaster of the Day you could see that he has done enough research, and it was not uh, just a Toastmaster of the session, but he brought in a lot of photographs, and with all those photographs, a lot of emotions. We could feel the theme. We could see that yes, pollution is bad, and he was able to raise that awareness within us. So that's a humongous job, awesome job, which Toastmaster of the Day has done. And then came very valuable feedback. I like the grammarian report. I also liked the GE report and table topic evaluation. What I would say was cherry on the cake, the listener stuff, because it kind of packed the whole package, like from the beginning up to end. We were able to rethink all the moments, and all of those memories were coming back. And uh, that small recap, it was a kind of recap for all of us. So that was a cherry on the cake. So I like the session, and these are the few things which are really awesome today.
Thank you, Akib, for that wonderful feedback. Last person I'd like to talk to right now is Toastmaster Bala. Again, they've been here for visiting us for some time, but this is after a while. So, how was it for you?
It was, as usual, a great meeting with your club. I really always enjoy to be here. It generally gives me a great sense of pleasure to be here. And whenever it's possible, I definitely try to join this club meeting. Yeah, there are some times when I have some personal or professional commitments, and you will ask why professional commitments on Sunday, but my nature of work is like that. We sometimes work on the weekends as well. Other than that, I try to.
Is it frozen? Anyone?
We lost him, Jatin.
Yeah, it's okay. So, thank you, Bala, for we'll like to hear from you when you are back. Thank you for that. I would like to just quickly acknowledge, obviously, Akib already mentioned Anurag, who also took up this role after joining the meeting. So it was sort of impromptu role. We asked him at the 11th hour, as I said, would say. And then we also would like to thank Asank himself for taking up the evaluator role. Asank, would you like to say something? Because it's very rare that you have spoken something at our meeting.
So thank you so much, Toastmaster Jatin, for this opportunity. And again, it was great. The best part was about the speeches and the presentation, as just Akib said. And the cherry on the cake was how well we were prepared with regards to. I felt the entire prepared speeches segment, along with the table teamwork, was something very like in sync. Specifically, your speech as well with regards to the theme that Nikhil presented upon to some extent. So great job overall. It was a great meeting, and again, love to be part of this. Back to
So
you.
is it okay if I announce something that's been kept secret for some time?
Definitely you can. You can.
Okay. Let me first go with the today's awards, and then let me keep the suspense a bit more longer. So, time for today's outstanding performance for State Toastmasters Club Lucknow meeting number 151. The first category is obviously the best prepared speaker. Any guesses there?
Best speaker is you.
Okay. And it's a 50-50 chance, right? So you don't have anything to lose. Anybody else? Okay. So it was truly 50-50. The room was even split.
Or the best speaker is Ayan.
Yeah, it was split 50. By the time Manvi said we have a majority, 8 people voted for each of us. So
This is fun.
distinguished Toastmaster Ayan, if you could please come on spotlight, and then we can have a quick screenshot. Manvi, could you do that, because I'm not able to scroll?
I don't know what is happening is.
Nice. All right. Smita, have you taken the screenshot?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna, for that wonderful speech and for elevating the quality of our meeting today. Now,
And
let's see.
congratulations to you too, Jatin, for that wonderful speech and for elevating.
Right back at you. All right. Now, next category is the best speech evaluator between our ACGD Toastmaster Asantya and myself. Any guesses? Again, 50-50 chance for you to win the prize. Win the guessing prize, at least, the guessing game.
This time I'll go with Asankhya, Jatin. You already got one.
Okay. Well, this time you would be wrong. Sorry about that.
Hey, Ram.
Okay. Yeah, I know, but you didn't evaluate. you didn't evaluate this evaluators. At least you didn't give feedback about the speech evaluators in your.
Oh, I was supposed to. I thought you just wanted a written feedback.
No,
I can do it right
for the
away.
So
yeah,
now it's
maybe after
done
the. You can still give feedback. Yes, it's just the public
offline.
opinion, but yeah. Okay. The next category is best table topic speaker. There we have quite a few to choose from. So there the prizes are even, or rather the bragging rights are higher. So anybody has any guesses to say? Blurt out.
I'll vote for myself. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Varun is the only one guessing. As G and table topic speaker, I think he has today got the confidence to evaluate everyone. But he's partially correct because it's a tie again. So
What is
congratulations.
happening today?
So Varun, if you could turn on your video, you could, when Manvi can spotlight you, we can take a quick screenshot. All right, thank you. Ritaji, you good? Come on,
Yes, taken. But Varun's photograph is there, Varun, not
That's
Varun.
all right.
Yeah. Okay, done.
All right. The next category that we have is the best eagle eye role play. Any guesses there? We had 4, so it's a 25% chance. If you choose this trick, because you get only one guess. The hint is, it is one of the impromptu role takers,
Grammarian.
right? Yeah,
Hello.
that is
Listener?
correct. So congratulations, Anu. Yeah, you're wrong this time. You had enough
Ayyo.
chances. Okay, congratulations, Anu, and thank you so much for joining us for the very first time, taking up role on the spot, and doing a wonderful job at it.
Thank you.
Hope
Thanks, everyone.
we hope you continue visiting us.
Sure.
Yeah. And last but not least, the best Lionheart role player of the day is none other than
Smitaji?
Nikhil.
Master of the day, Nikhil Yadav. Congratulations, birthday boy. This was actually his first keynote session in the second term. He also did a
Oh,
keynote
wow.
session in the first term. So I think he slowly are, and first time also he had such great presentation, which was prepared in a span of 2 hours, because he took up that role just 2 hours before that meeting. Everybody in the club was so fascinated, and has now you're truly the presentation man. So I think I've mentioned we use visual aids today, but you truly are the presentation man, as you've showcased in today's session as well. Thank you for choosing those wonderful topics and coming up with that great visually appealing presentations for your sessions. Thank you, Nick. We hope to see now more of your speeches. All right, now time for announcements. Thank you, Shivam, for joining in while you're doing your project, MBA project. Thank you, Archita, for joining in. I didn't see you were in the train. I'm not sure if you've reached home or not. But everybody else, thanks, Varun, for again joining in and taking up not one but 2 roles. And Manvi for always being there in the background, doing her diligent best. But the announcement that we have is one, obviously, like I mentioned, the next meeting would most likely be on 29th June. And it will be a special meeting, as it's most likely, as of now, it's going to be a combined meeting between all the clubs in our area, which is area F1 of District 124. It's between the two Prayagraj clubs, Prayagraj Toastmasters Club, UGI Club, and Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. Most likely a hybrid meeting there, except Archita, because Archita is ready to travel. Archita would be going to Prayagraj. Everybody else would be joining hybrid if nobody else accompanies Archita. But he will be
And
there.
Jatin, as I was mentioning, and Asankhya is here as well, I would like to nominate myself as a speaker. If there is a slot, do let me know.
And if that meeting happens and if there will be a speaking session, yes, definitely. Else we will have a regular meeting and you will be a prepared speaker.
So my
But it
nomination
is,
stands.
yeah, 29th June, 4 p.m. is what our meeting will be, irrespective of what it will be.
Perfect.
The second and special announcement is we now, as of today, would have a 20th member amidst the TMCL family, and it would be none other than Toastmaster Asankhya Vishwa Mohan.
We guessed it as well. Congratulations. Activist
Thank
has
you.
gone for it.
Thank
The
you.
one who is ubiquitous in his presence. He's available Vish Vikhyat. He's also Vish Prasid, but he's also Vish available Vish through aware. So he's also aware at going to be at TMCL. The founding club member is now also going to be a member finally, because he was supposed to be here, but he's now going to be there. Yeah. And with that and the L1 completion that I have been able to attain, we by tomorrow, hopefully, or would be officially President's Distinguished Toastmasters Club of Lucknow would be President's Distinguished Club as of tomorrow, 24th June. So kudos to each and every member of the club
Well
for
done, everyone.
making this possible, and hope we continue our fun, our learning, and our accolades.
Also, Jatin, I would like to announce I'll probably be filing my level 2 next week. So, with that speech, the first award for next year.
Yay! We will have a special announcement in the next first meeting of July.
Amazing, amazing. Welcome, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you, Smita. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Awesome.
Anybody else have any other announcements, or should we officially adjourn the meeting and remain here for networking and stop the recording? Anybody else has any announcements?
We should stop the recording now. My
All
bladder
right.
is going to burst otherwise. I have to run.
Well, somehow that would be the last thing to be mentioned in the recording. People would have a laugh out of it. So I officially adjourn the meeting now.
Help, please help. There are things you cannot reduce or reuse.